Hey everybody, this is Wallace from Team Honest, and we are going to be having a deck profile from James and his D Robos. Go ahead.
Well, D-Robos, it's one of my best decks, and I love it so much. I've been playing it for years and keeping it with it as it kind of develops. My build is Kaiser build because I think it's the best build of Dimensional Robos, better than Daiusha. So I'll just take you through the deck list here. First point is we're playing 4 of the Break Ride, one of the best Break Rides of the game, hands down.
Yeah.
The build here is Crush Guardians, I'm try checking grade 3. In the whole Kaiser thing, it's making the opponent guard twice.
Yeah.
They have to guard for the perfect guard and for the break.
Yeah, that's the whole point of D Robo, isn't it?
Yep, put pressure on the opponent and make them drop hand.
Yeah.
And so I'm playing 4 of these, and then my backup grade 3s with that is the Cross Ride, which is Great Kaiser. So that's a triple drive for one, so it's one of the first extra drive checks, which was very interesting. It becomes a 13k base defensively if you have this in the soul.
Yeah.
So it's very good for dealing with niggles, so the melons, it just stops all those plays, lets you reduce the amount of guard you have to give out.
Yeah.
So 13k base makes a huge difference. And then my other grade 3s is Shadow Kaiser. It's only there so I can go from here onto here. So if I don't have a grade 3 in hand to stride with, or if I haven't got my stud anymore, this can guarantee my next break ride and keep the pressure on just for 1 cannon blast. For 2 cannon blasts, 1 with him and 1 with the break ride.
Oh,
I don't always need to use the limit break.
Yeah, that's very good.
So it keeps the momentum.
Yeah, like you said at the start, you don't like Daiusha. Why don't you like running the Daiusha Legion?
Yeah, so the majority of Dimensional Robo builds will be playing this unit here. This is the Legion. I don't like it. I have tested a lot. I've played the 10 grade 3 build, the 9 grade 3 build. I've even tried the 12 grade 3 build. But I've had so many matches where I've had to ride the Daiusha as my grade 3 turn, and I haven't found the Kaiser, and it locks me out of one of my most powerful strides.
Yeah.
And that has literally cost me the games where I was like, my opponent has a perfect guard, so Daimax doesn't do anything. I need my Kaiser break ride.
Yeah, so it just doesn't actually work in your version of the deck.
Yeah, I always want my grade 3s and I want my grade 2s to always resolve with Kaiser. Yes, I know it is a great unit, I'm not doubting it, because you can get an extra crit off this, an extra crit off this.
Yeah.
Double guard break, I can understand it. But it's just not me, and I prefer the 13k base for against melons and against niggles.
Yeah, 13k base is always very useful.
And there are some times where I actually have been rode this for my grade 3 turn and soul charged this under by other means, making a defensive grade 3 turn, which is brutal.
Yeah.
I've done it myself and it's great. So those are the grade 3s. Grade 2s. One of my favourite grade 2s. People hate this grade 2, but I love it. It counts as 11k attacker if I have a Kaiser Vanguard, so since all my grade 3s are Kaisers, it always works. And if I drive check it, it counts as a grade 3 on drive check, and I soul charge and counter charge. So as I said, sometimes that soul charge puts the other grade 3 in, counter charge helps with damage, plus grade 3 breaking shields.
That's a mandatory skill, isn't it?
Yep, so on drive check you must resolve it.
Yeah.
So it's very good. They did misprint it, but it is soul charge. It's not soul blast, that's Stewart. So this is best one, people hate it.
Yeah, understandable.
Die Resin, I play 4 Die Resin. It's a huge beat stick. It gains 2k if I have a Kaiser Vanguard, and that's continuous. So defensively it's 11k base. Whenever I'm attacking, it gains 2k for each Dimensional Robo G unit I have face up in the G zone. So first, whenever you go through a few strides, this can get huge. Combine that with the likes of Daimax, where you add in an extra 5k and a crit, this gets huge.
Yeah, extremely large.
You can just bleed people's hands with this here. So I love it.
Yeah, although I have seen other deck profiles where people haven't been using it.
Some people don't like it. Some people love it because if they play the Legion, it becomes a 13k base defensively.
Yeah.
But some people prefer other grade 2s. It's just, I love this.
Yeah, just personal preference.
Personal preference. I love putting pressure on my opponent, and this does it for me.
Yeah.
My last grade 2, Dijet. I run 12 grade 2 build. A lot of people play 11 grade 2 or 10 grade 2 build, but I like rushing my opponent down early game and putting pressure on them on grade 2 turn.
Yeah.
And this putting grade 3s back in the deck means I don't need to run as many grade 3s as I would normally.
Yeah, so it's pretty important for the deck.
Yeah, I rarely resolve the Cannon Blast 1 draw card, but sometimes that 4K has made a huge difference. So I have a starter, which I'll also get to later on, but it can put huge amount of pressure, and that 4K makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
So I'll show that whenever the starter comes up, but mainly put the grade 3s back in the deck for drive checking. So that's my grade 2. My grade 1s. 4 perfect guards. These are Dimensional Robo perfect guards. Die shield, just for really protecting me on life.
Yeah. Those aren't the counter charge ones, are they?
Yes, a lot of them either play the counter charge ones. I've seen other ones that play the Enigman ones, but I just prefer having the Dimensional Robo name. It keeps with consistency. The cross ride requires Dimensional Robos for Counterblast, so I want to keep as many as possible Dimensional Robos. I am playing some non-dimensional Robos, but it's too good to not use it. And with Dimax, it becomes an 11k attacker, and that's just lane on its own, and that's 11k against my opponent.
Yeah, and so it's basically the best perfect guard for the deck.
Yes, plus on very rare situations, if I'm playing Dimensional Robo mirror match, protecting rear guards.
Yeah.
The other ones can only protect the Vanguard. Plus, if ever X-End ever rears its hand again.
Yeah.
I also played 2 Limit Break Enablers. Not many people play this here. They typically play the Yuka. That's also because it's expensive, so I haven't got any. I don't have access to lots of promos, but I love it because if I'm going on grade 3 turn and I don't have a huge hand to use my starter, I have a cheeky wee combo where if I have this on my Vanguard, this on my rearguard, I can, on my grade 3 turn, whenever they're on grade 2, perform a cross break ride for 2 Counterblast. So it puts huge pressure on my opponent. So I'm attacking for 23,000 plus a crit, plus guard crush, and you're on grade 2, so that means you can't use G guards.
Yeah, so that's a huge amount of pressure.
Early game.
Early game.
Yeah.
So that's pretty damn good.
Yeah. People don't like it, but I love it just for that cheeky replay and putting pressure on my opponent.
Have you thought about running more than 2?
I've thought about it, but the other grade 1s I'm playing, I want to keep them at those numbers, and I don't want to hit the grade 2 counts because I've had really good times whenever it's grade ratios not getting hugely grade blocked. So it's just numbers for me.
Yeah.
But it's a cheeky wee combo. Plus, this way I'm on 13k base.
Yeah.
Defensive. So it's offensive and defensive.
Yeah.
So 2 of these, if I get them, I get them. If not, plus it's the Dimensional Robo name.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last of the grade 1s I'm playing is... Where is it? I just misplaced them. I play Stride Fodders, which I just misplaced. Oh, here we go. I don't know. 4 Stride Fodders. Only for there for striding, keep the momentum going. Putting a lot of aggro on my opponent.
Yeah.
Just keep striding. Not there for the first skill. Don't play Grand Gut.
No.
And then one of my favourite grade 1s, Commander Law. I would honestly say this thing needs to be hit. It's that good a card.
Yeah.
Once my opponent sees there's a Commander Law on rearguard and I've got 3 other rearguards, they're panicking pretty much.
Yeah. It's a staple on, I'd say, all D-play decks, isn't it?
All dimensional plays, all dimensional Robos, they just love this card.
Yeah.
And it's huge pressure, mainly because once Strike came out, that's double, triple drive.
Yeah.
So, it's just stupid. You gain too much advantage off it. So, it's 3-0 I love it.
Yeah. I see you're only playing 3 though. Have you thought about playing 4?
I do have a 4th Commander Law. I've tested it. But the number of times where I've ridden Commander Law as my grade 1, and my opponent has rushed me on grade 2 at 9Ks, it's just been destructive. And I've actually had some cases where I've rode Commander Law, and people have called triggers. They've called 4K triggers, and killed me with the trigger.
Yeah.
So it's just unnecessary risk to have too many of these.
Yeah, so 3's enough.
3's optimal. If I was to do anything, I would replace one of these with a extra limit break enabler, but
Yeah.
again, it's too good. You need to have this in your hand.
Yeah.
You need to find it. So that's my grade 1s. It's great numbers, I think. And then now on to the grade 0s. So for my starter, I'm playing Die Hawk. Broken starter. This is just beyond stupid. Basically what it allows you to do is, on most situations, stride first. And striding first is a huge advantage. So if I pin him and 3 other grade 3 dimensional rules into the soul, you can stride.
Yeah.
You also don't need to put him into the soul. You can put 4 others and keep him for next turn, which I have done in one situation.
Yeah.
People didn't believe me, but it doesn't state himself. So it allows you to early stride whenever your opponent's on grade 2, they can't G-guard. So you're going into one of your strides 9 times out of 10. This one, Diet, which is the mat.
Yeah.
Beautiful card. But you can just put lots of pressure, and all the G units I have are dimensional robos.
Yeah. So people have actually said you cheated
People
whenever using it?
People have said that's broken, how can that be right? But it does not stipulate my opponent's grade Vanguard. It only stipulates I have a grade 3 Vanguard.
Yeah.
So as soon as I ride up to grade 3, as I said, if I ride up to grade 3, I can do cheeky plays. I can also, which I do on sometimes, if I have ridden this, call this to rearguard, use this skill to put him into the soul, it becomes a 13k base,
Yeah.
and I showed. So if I got tons of grade 3s in my hand, I'll get rid of them, become 13k base. I just love 13k bases.
Yeah.
So, broken card, I've had people question me about it, but I checked with Bushy Road, I've checked with Dimensional Police Academy, they all confirm this
Yeah.
is broken beyond belief.
So no matter what grade your opponent's on, so long as you're in grade 3, you can stride, basically.
Yes, and you have the other dimensional rules, you can strike. I have done it on my opponent where they were grade locked and they were on grade 1. I did feel bad for a minute, but then afterwards I won the game, so they were grade locked.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good. And by pinning them into the soul with Dijet, if your opponent is on grade 2, they're typically going around 9k or 10k. Your stride becomes 26k plus 4, 30k, perfect number.
Yeah.
And they can't G-guard, so they're either wasting perfect guard, they're using lots of 10k shields. If you have Commander Law, they have to shield that.
Yeah.
Or you're getting too many dry checks.
Yeah.
I play 4 die battles. Sometimes this skill comes up because, as I say, 26k to 29k is good against 9ks.
Yeah.
But it's dimensional rule. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
4 die wolves. I love wolves myself, so the fact there's dimensional wolf, I love it. It's another crit.
Kind of a given then.
Yeah, and it's a crit. It does the job.
Yeah.
I play 4 draw triggers, dimensional rule draw triggers. It sometimes helps to keep my hand because I'm dropping a huge amount of cards for using the Diarch skill. So I sometimes want to use this thing to keep my hand replenished. Plus, calling it to rearguard, you're not using a lot of units from hand.
Yeah.
So you're using a 5k as opposed to a 10k trigger unit. So dimensional roll, it's dimensional rolls.
Yeah.
And then heal triggers. Go rescue, I love the rescue. So he has rescued me on many occasions. Heal trigger does the job, access to heal to G Guardians. Brilliant unit.
Yeah.
And I just love it.
Yeah.
Some people do say, should I use Dolphin to use with the G Guardian? But it's a dimensional name. Sometimes I have had to use it, called Rearguard, to use Diehawk to stride first.
Yeah.
You do lose a G Guardian, but sometimes that first stride puts a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah, and first stride can win you games.
Yeah.
Especially because then you're guaranteed to use one of your strongest strides next. So, as we're talking about strides, I'll go into the G deck. 9 times out of 10, this will be my first stride. Diet is stupid. With using Diehawk, you're minusing 1 overall because you're losing the 4 rear guards, gaining 2 with its skill, gaining drive check. The mathematics works out to be -1. But with Commander Law, that becomes even more plus.
Yeah.
Rarely does the +1 crit come up, but it sometimes happens, but mainly it's just a call to the field.
Yeah.
And it's a dimensional name, so Diehawk.
Yeah.
Brilliant unit. One of my favourite strides, Daikaiser Leon. Beautiful, as I said, makes your opponent have to guard for twice, sometimes 3 times the amount of shield, just to be able to shield this attack. And I love it. And since all my grade 3s are Daikaiser, this is always live.
Yeah.
As I said, if I played Daiusha, I would have these without the, so I always want to have access to this.
Yeah.
So this is a brilliant unit. 4 of definitely, don't play 2 of, you need 4 of it. My next G unit is Max. This is a killer. I'm either killing people with this, so if they have a perfect guard, I'm either using this, or if I don't see a perfect guard, I'm using this.
Yeah.
So the fact that this one gets up to, on second stride, if you G-guard, it becomes 41,000 free crit, and your rear guards are gaining crits as well. You're putting pressure on your opponents. And using Dai Resin, it's gaining power, it's getting huge things. You're killing them with this, either with Vanguard or whatever. Plus, combine it with that with Commander Laurel, if they're on low damage, you will be swinging lots of times. Yeah. I have attacked this into rear guard just to get extra drive checks, but it's just stupid.
Yeah, so basically your opponent has to hope that they have a perfect guards or G guards to try and stop it.
Yes, for all attacks. And with Dimax, some people, as I said before, with Dimensional Robos, why are you playing this plus this? It becomes 11k. It's a column on its own.
Yeah.
I've sometimes called triggers and become 9k, take out the interceptors before anything happens. This kills people.
Yeah.
This is well worth the money. It's won me so many tournaments. You need to 4 of them, and that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's just stupid. Sometimes it can be a good first to second stride because you do get the crit. So
yeah,
you get the crit on the second one if you have 2 face up in the G zone, and it doesn't have to be dimensional roll, so you can G guard into it, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
For my last stride, Dai King. I don't always go into them, but when I do, they're typically dead. It's just a beautiful unit. If you call even a trigger behind it, it becomes 80,000, and that 80,000 is a huge number.
Yeah.
It's just, if your opponent doesn't have perfect guards and you see full field, you can kill them with this.
Yeah.
But it's just a beautiful unit. And there's some times where its effect, where if it's above 80,000 to give power to the rear guards, does make a big difference, because I've seen my opponent perfect guard the Vanguard. Okay, that's fine. Give power to the rear guards. So my rear guards are gaining 120,000 for each column.
Yeah.
And that's huge power. And they can't stop that.
Yeah, that's massive power.
Unless they have 3 perfect guards, in which case, lucky you.
Yeah.
And as I said, this is a GB8. So combine that with Dai Resin.
Yeah.
Huge numbers.
Yeah. There aren't many decks that can rival that amount of power.
Yeah.
I think maybe Neo Nectar and possibly Gurgit Gold Paladin.
Yes. Gurgit Gold Paladin, as well as Garmor Gold Paladin.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant one for just gaining stupid ones with the unit. But this is a beautiful unit. One of the best GB8s in the game. Once I saw this thing, I couldn't believe it. Also, you can do a cheeky play, and you can just, instead of giving the crit to the rear guard, if you give the crit to himself, you can give your rear guards plus that would be plus 70,000 power.
Yeah.
So that just becomes huge.
Yeah.
140,000 K lanes.
I also believe it's not restricted to Dimensional Robos.
Yes, it just gives all rear guards. So it's really good, and sometimes it's a Dimensional Robo name, so Die Hockey can go into this here.
Yeah.
If you need to stride, if you don't have grade 3 in hand. If you have tons of triggers in hand, put them in, kill them with this, just kill them. And now onto my G Guardians. I play 2 Atlantis Dolphins. This is the G flipping Perfect Guard, the G Guardian. Beautiful unit. It does manage to gain huge defensive power for each 5k for each rear guard, and if it hits 30k defensive, you can charge 1, soul charge 1. So it just manages your damage, because you're burning through a lot of damage early using Dire, you kind of blast in 2.
Yeah.
So this helps with that. And there has been one occasion where I actually G-guarded. I was riding the cross ride, I soul charged the grade 3 to make cross ride.
Yeah.
And my opponent was just like, that was too lucky.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful. It was just like, I can't believe this has happened. But this is Vanguard.
Yeah.
It's luck.
So it has no cost other than flipping over another G guard.
Yes, that just flipping another one, and I do play 5 G guards.
Yeah.
So I can keep flipping them over, as well as the rule where I can use more than one and just flipping the G units.
Yeah.
So this helps me get to the diking a lot faster, just to kill my opponent. That's just really what the whole thing is about. Gets to this faster.
Yeah.
And you'll notice all of my dimensional Robo strides flip something over. All of them flip, which helps with this. So that's this. Last 3 single ones. Ligament Patriot, if you're above 20k, plus 5k shield. Sometimes helps, but it's really good unit. I love it. It was one of the first ones.
Yeah, basic 5k.
Ex-Carvu, if your opponent is attacking for 30k or more, then it gains 10,000 shield, and I can discard a card from my hand to have my Vanguard gain an extra 4,000 power. Sometimes if I have extra grade 3s in my hand and I don't have a perfect guard, that extra 4k can make a huge difference. Combine that with the fact I'm using Cross Ride,
Yeah.
it's 70k, which is huge power. Sorry for the background noise. So beautiful, becomes 70k. So decks like Gay Chronicle, they can't niggle at you.
Yeah.
So beautiful card. G05 is my last G unit. Gains 10k by soul blasting card from my soul above 5,000 power. So majority of units apart from triggers and command law are that. So gains an extra 10k. Plus if I've taken a damage that turn, it becomes an extra 5k shield. So it's a huge shield, and you only have to soul blast 1 card. Sometimes that does happen, and if your opponent is playing like Perditions and damages you before the battle phase, it does count. So that did happen to me one time. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I did use this, and the opponent was confused. But beautiful deck. But this is my Dimensional Robo deck profile. I just love Dimensional Robos.
Yeah.
It's my main competitive deck. So that's it.
Is there anything else you want to maybe explain or anything about the deck?
Dimensional Robo is just a stupid, beautiful deck.
Yeah.
There's very little changes that I would make to the deck. I haven't changed this deck really since in about 4 or 5 months, and it still does me well. I went to QCon, played in every single Vanguard tournament, and in 20 games it won 16 of them. So huge record for it. And typically the killer was either this or my GB8.
Yeah.
So it just kills people quickly, and I'm watching my opponent.
Yeah. That's an impressive record.
It's a beautiful deck, and this thing here needs to be hit. I'm a Dimensional Robo player, and I think it needs to be hit.
Yeah.
But that's it. Beautiful deck. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, James. Goodbye, everyone. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and we will hopefully see you again very soon. Bye now.